Hey everyone, and welcome back to another 3PL Live Sessions episode with myself, Cameron Robertson, and the co-host, Michael Sternberg. Mike, how are things going on your end?
Good, man. Busy week, but busy good, right? Because there's busy bad, but we're
Yeah,
busy
there
with
is.
things that we're busy with things that move the needle, right? So it's keeping ourselves with work to do, but they're things that are pushing things forward. So, how's your week been, man?
It's been busy. A lot of conference calls. Got injured at the office earlier this week, so been in quite a bit of pain. But no, overall things are going well, man. Excited about the new newsletter we launched, and it's getting improved on every single week. A lot of new updates, a lot of system changes coming. Excited for the 3PL Live virtual meeting that we're having next month, along with the Heads Together meeting. Just a lot of things in the works, and it's always exciting to see that. It just keeps us all
Yeah,
motivated as we're pushing forward.
dude. When are we gonna get the AI song? I know we were talking about it before the show, but are we gonna have it ready for next week in the
Next
intro?
week we'll do it. Yeah, we'll
All
we'll
right.
instead of our typical introduction video that we have on this call, we'll throw on the AI song that we had written for the company. It's kind of hilarious how good it is.
It's
Also, kind of
insane.
scary at the same time how good it is, because you start wondering at what point are you gonna be able to tell the difference from a real band and AI? Because I can't tell the difference
It's not
from the
far
song
off.
that it wrote for us.
Yeah. Which one are we gonna use? The one that sounds like almost like pop punkish.
Like
The
Blink 182 type.
like Blink. Yeah. Nice.
That's probably
Nice.
what
I
we'll
love
end
it.
up using. Yeah. Yeah. So,
Nice.
without further ado, we want to introduce Mario Kova. He is the founder of Fast Exacts. Mario, welcome to the show.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it.
Yeah,
So,
Mario. It's good to see you.
Mario, tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, where you're from, and how you got into logistics.
Originally, I come from Bulgaria. I've been in the States for 37 years now. As a young fella, I got in trouble with the system. I lived behind the Iron Curtain. Very difficult time for me and my family as well. So I did a little bit of prison stand for about less than a year, but it was still kind of sober me up, and I decided to just make a run for the border. So I did that in 1985, and
Wow.
I ended up in San Francisco. Actually, I was backpacking. I landed in Chicago, made my way to the West Coast, kind of ran out of money, got a job, got married, got kids, and I never left. And by default, I feel very lucky to live in that beautiful city in that great state of California. So yeah, that's the short story of my personal beginnings.
So Mario, I'm just
Um,
curious. This is a selfish question for my own curiosities. Can you tell us a little bit about what it was like? I've read in the books like about the Iron Curtain, right? And I studied it in grade school, but I'm just curious from someone who actually has lived it, and then you've also been in America for quite a while. Can you highlight kind of what that was like and how it was different and kind of why you decided to flee?
um, well, to give you a little comparison, it's not as bad, but it's very similar to what North Korea is nowadays. It's kind of like a good example of what it was. It's a total dictatorship.
Mm,
Everybody um, is reporting, and everybody, even you people in your family you never know, to the authorities, and you get for in trouble for little things that you said and the things that you did. And obviously for people with ADHD like me, I can't just really hold myself. I'm kind of like open book. So I guess my mouth got me in trouble. So that's what happened. Um, my dad and my mom. My dad was worked for customs at the border. my stunt kind of got him in trouble, so he was not able to retire. They let him go like 2 years before retirement, which kind of sucked for the family. It bring a lot of pain and all that. So it wasn't a fun situation. Although as a kid, I had a lot of nice memories and friends and good friends in the neighborhood and all that. It's just a normal kid that you don't understand what you're growing into, and
Right.
the system is set up against you. And kind of the system is set up against bright people. Not, I don't want to say that I'm a bright person, but
You're a
people
bright
do
person,
better
Mario.
in their life.
Yeah.
It's just they kill any if you want to do better in your life and if you want to do things. And business was a no. Every business was owned by the government. You can't do nothing. Entrepreneurship non-existent in any possible way. And so that was kind of killing me, you know.
Got it. What made you choose California? What made you choose the U.S.? Is it
I promised myself that I'm gonna run as far as I can west, and I
There you
thought when I
go.
got to San
You did
Francisco,
it.
that's the most western point. And a few years later, my friends are telling me, "Man, you should have gone to Hawaii. That's the most western point." I'm like, "Oh my God, what did I do? I should have been in Hawaii."
Island locked in Hawaii.
Yeah.
So, Mario, switching gears a little bit, tell us a little bit about how many companies have you created in total? Is Fast Exact the only company you've created, or have you created multiple?
I started my logistics experience as working for a freight forwarder. I run
Okay.
the. I started in a night crew at a warehouse doing perishables, shipping them internationally to all markets, Australia, a lot of European, a lot of Japanese destinations. Mostly perishables that get picked up from the California Valley, you know, asparagus, artichokes, all the berries that you can think of, cherries, and all that stuff. And I end up running the whole warehousing operation. And firstly, I got exposed to air freight in logistics, and then I decided that I'm just gonna get a truck and start doing local pickups and deliveries for a few air freight forwarders. And one of my biggest customer back then was Samsung. We did all the I did all the pickups for freight forwarder that had the Samsung business. So that kind of
Wow.
started me in the trucking. I grew the company to about 40 trucks, local pickup and deliveries. I was um, uh, it was one of the largest local cartage agent for many freight forwarders, domestic and international. And that's what started me in the business. The way I started Fast Exact, it was during the 9/11 hiccup that the introduction of DHS, Department of Homeland Security, the TSA, which kind of slowed down dramatically domestic air freight with so many security requirements, checking in the freight 4 hours before flight, screening the freight at all airport facilities. And then that slowed the transit time of domestic freight. Also, um, the fact that they require the drivers to become TSA non-drivers, which also decrease the availability of trucking for that purpose. So I saw that opportunity, like, hey, if I can run a truck from Chicago to Dallas in 12 hours, I'm gonna beat the airline, the air freight. And that was that was an experience in the beginning where actually we did a shipment for Caterpillar, and they shipped the same freight. They shipped it by air, and just to double secure it, they shipped it on the truck because it was a uh, in Dallas, they were like 150 people crew sitting on the ground, cannot do nothing until this Caterpillar gets fixed. And the nearest part was located in Chicago. And I beat the airline by 3.5 hours.
Wow.
And I said, oh my God, this just opened my eyes. Like, there is a need for exclusive use vehicle, team operated vehicles, sprinter vans, and small straight trucks that can kind of take off some of the domestic burden and the domestic air freight burden. And that's what got me started with Fast Exact.
Wow, that's amazing.
So you've had Fast Exact now for what, 23-ish years? You said it was around 9/11 when you started, right? So let's call it,
Yes.
you know,
2010 is when we started, and but we really launched it in 11, in the fall of 11.
Got it. And so, how many trucks, sprinter vans, cargo vans do you have now inside of Fast Exact, and what does your coverage map look like? Are you regional player? Do you have trucks and sprinter vans everywhere? What does your service lanes look like?
We have about 160 pieces of equipment, mainly sprinter vans is what we run. Majority of the equipment is where the business is, which is along the Mexican border and the Midwest. We take a lot of freight daily into Canada and out of Canada as well. So we are another regional, we are cross-country type of carrier. We don't do much regional stuff like a local pickup and delivery and stuff like that. We specialize with anything over like 250 miles is our sweet spot when we become compatible with the rest of the services.
It's really interesting. It's such a niche play that you have, but obviously you figured out it was a problem that needed to be solved, and there was a clear service that you could provide that people would pay for. So I always like hearing about unique businesses that aren't very obvious, right? So for us, it's like we sell TMS to brokers, and it's like these people are brokering freight on big dry vans or reefers or flatbeds. And the more I'm talking to our clients, I'm hearing more about how many of them are doing expedites. And so that may just be ignorance on my side, but I've been finding out more and more how common it is that people are utilizing these expedite services. So quite fascinating, actually.
Yes. It's a very small niche of the market. I think it's about 3% of the entire ground transportation that is moved in this kind of type of service. And because we don't offer any other services, we don't do any LTL or truckloads or anything like that. We are specialized in that. For us, it was a natural way to partner with companies like 3PL systems to offer a value-added service to your existing end users, as we cannot go straight to shippers because we only offer one product, and we really not looking to grow into that field at all. We just like to stay where we are and what we do best.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. So, question for you: how does running the asset side compare to running a brokerage? So, what are the major differences you see, running an asset company versus a brokerage that doesn't have assets?
See, I haven't been on the other side, so
yeah,
I don't know.
Didn't you own a brokerage, Mario? Am I mistaken?
We have a broker authority which we hardly ever use for very emergency situations. We have partner carriers that sometimes we utilize with the permission of the broker. We would not do that without telling them, hey, the truck is down. I have a recovery vehicle, but it's not mine. Would you allow me to put it on another truck? We have all the insurance in places and all the licensing in places to make sure that the freight is secured and it's. But these are the situations that we will reach out to a partner carrier that we've vetted for many years, and we work with on a kind of as needed kind of type of basis.
Got it. So you started the company in 2010. It really started taking off in 2011. Mike and I talk about this all the time. Technology is kind of a key thing for every business today and how you deploy it within your organization. So, for you, from your perspective, if we go back in time, when you initially built an API or a piece of technology that could integrate with TMS platforms or any platform for that matter, how did that impact your business? Did you see a turning point? Was it a major change in revenue for you guys? Did it bring a lot more business for you? What was the impact of technology for Fast Exact?
We've always been very big on the technology side from the very beginning. We launched our driver app back in 2012, where the drivers will see everything that we have available, and they can accept it or not based on their location, geographical location, and all that stuff. API came into kind of play in the last 5 years, I would say. We were trying to shorten the process between quoting and accepting the freight from the brokers and the freight forwarders that we work with, and wanted to eliminate that process by eliminating the emails, phone calls, quote me that, quote me this, and all that stuff. And we saw that the future is by integration, virtual integration. I think it's key for any industry, no matter in what business you are. And the more we integrate, we think it's benefits the end user and benefits all of us. So we see that as the future. As a small company as ours, with providing only one type of service, we see integration as a key for our success.
Awesome. Yeah, we see it day in, day out on our side. So it's always interesting to ask other businesses that deploy it when, being a technology provider for us, it's everything. And for you, you take advantage of it for other reasons of, making yourselves more efficient and whatnot. So yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I just want to add to that real quick. So I've been talking to a lot of our current customers recently about Fast Exact, and they're all blown away when they realize that you have an API that allows your service to be leveraged like the way that people leverage these large national LTL carriers, right? In the LTL world with the common carriers, people are used to rating APIs and pickup request APIs and tracking APIs and document APIs, but we don't see it in many other modes of shipping like we do in LTL, or at least it's not common. And so when we tell people, like, hey, you should talk to Mario at Fast Exact, his service is integrated into our platform and you can interact with it just like you do an LTL carrier, they're blown away. I honestly think that the way that you guys have gone about that, Mario, it gives you a distribution channel through the TMSs that you're integrated with that, frankly, hats off to you. I know other people are trying to do it, but you guys have done it. We've seen it. And so, obviously we're huge proponents of technology. So we always say to people, I'll speak for myself. There are prospective customers that sometimes are like, well, can we do all this automation with these carriers? And I tell them, I said, I don't know. It's up to the carrier. Yeah. And they're like, well, what do you mean? I said, well, we're limited as a TMS provider to what the carrier's technology can do. And so you positioning yourself like that is kudos to you. Again, hats off, man. That's awesome.
Not everyone thinks like that. We see it.
Yeah. This is the future. It's just closing the circle. And there's no need of emails going back and forth. If you can track and book, quote it, track it, and book it through the TMS platform that you're utilizing, for me, it's a no-brainer. Why wouldn't you do that, right? Instead of doing all the emails and phone calls. So yeah, we live kind of in the LTL space on the bazaar. What differentiates from the rest of the LTL companies, if you look for faster transit time, then we come on top. If you're looking for the cheaper rate, we're probably not going to be on top, that's for sure. But if you need a truck right now and if it needs to be delivered at specific time, if you need to pick it up on Saturday, on Sunday, that's not an issue at all. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
So I have a question for you, Mario. Being that you live on the carrier side, albeit you're not in the traditional drive van space, but I know you have a unique perspective. So most of the time we're talking to brokers. That's who we serve. It's no secret that everyone's talking about market rates being depressed right now. From your perspective, have you guys seen rates coming down on the expedite side the same way that it is on the freight side? Are you guys impacted by that? What is just your overall perspective on the current state of rates in the market?
I think the rates have come down a little bit for us on the expedited side, not as dramatically as on the truckload side. And I just want to use this webinar to announce that for all the 3PL system customers, we just lowered on Tuesday the rates by average 20% across the board.
Wow.
We just want to be agile about it, and we want to be competitive, and we want to make all these brokers as well competitive in the current market.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's big news, especially for, Mike, you've been reaching out to a lot of clients recently. I was kind of in the dark with you on how many clients actually use expedited. And so now that we're finding out more, it's, that's really great.
Yeah. 20% is significant. So that's, I'm sure people will want to take advantage of that, right? It's 20% is a lot. Yeah. It's interesting also, Cam, to your point about, being in the dark about how many of our clients are doing expedites. One of the things I found out is a lot of people just call it truckload or LTL, and they don't really say that it's expedite. And it's, I'm not going to name names, but one of our larger clients that I was talking to earlier this week, they're like, "Oh yeah, all of our truckload is actually expedite." Like, what do you mean? But I guess I'm ignorant to that. I just didn't know.
It could be they have a team in the truck. They can do expedited truckload, but you don't want to run a truckload for a pallet or for one little crate for the whole truck. And what we think is also what our service brings is also a carbon offset by utilizing much more vehicles, very economical vehicles. These are mainly Sprinter vans. They do anywhere between 28 to 33 miles per gallon on a diesel, which is significant savings as well. A good carbon offset as well.
Wow. Do you guys have a carbon offset program that you maybe like provide that to customers? Are you guys selling that as like one of your benefits when you're reaching out to people to use your services?
We haven't done that yet. We are partners in SmartWay. We've been partners with SmartWay for many years. So we'd like to, in fact, So, but we haven't started that kind of program yet. We're too small for that, I would guess.
It's like a hot topic. It has been for the past couple of years, and it's getting more popular, right? And so there's definitely an angle.
On that topic, I really do wonder, because we're starting to see the market even turn on like EVs, and I wonder how much of it was hype versus reality. Meaning like how many people were trying to jump on this because it's what everyone's talking about and it's what everyone's doing, where now it's like you're seeing a huge turn in the EV market, where a lot more of the EV drivers are going back to gas powered vehicles, and it's something that's actually happening. So I do wonder, what's the impact of that? Obviously it's something we want to see increase, meaning more people adopt things that don't have as high as carbon emissions and whatnot. But just a thought, looking at the market and how things are playing out.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah. So, well, Mario, do you have any final thoughts? We've got about 2-3 minutes left before we're gonna gonna let you go. Any final thoughts? Any learnings? Things you want to share with the audience, or at the very least, how do people find you if they want to get in touch and use your guys' services?
I guess what I have to say is what we specialize in a high value freight when they don't have to transport it from truck to truck because they want to seal the truck and they want to do that. We do quite a bit of automotive, which is kind of on demand since they don't have any inventory at the building facilities. Or it's just short inventory that they have. We do a lot of entertainment like art exhibits, festivals, and band tours as well. It's kind of time-defined type of freight. We don't do any consolidations. It's all exclusive use vehicle. And so it's mostly team operated unless it's a small regional run, but it's mostly team operated. You guys can find us at fastexact.com. I'd like to basically find me through 3PL system because that must be the easier. That's probably the easiest ways to get connected.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, that's the goal here. Yeah.
Well, Mario, we do appreciate you joining us today. Thank you again for telling us your backstory. It's pretty incredible where you started and where you ended up. There's not many people that pull that off, to be frank about it. So thank you for coming on our show today.
Thank you guys for having me.
Absolutely. And we will talk to you soon, Mario.
Thanks, Mario.
Thank you.
All right. Man, what a story.
Right? Right. It's
behind the Iron Curtain.
Yeah, those kinds of stories, they always makes me realize like how
lucky we have it.
Lucky we are, right? Like I'm born in Southern California. Like who am I, dude? Right?
Grew up in the bubble of Southern California.
Yeah.
So funny.
Yeah.
We've talked about this. You grow up and then you start to realize, wait a second, not everyone's living like this. Not everyone's growing up like this, and it's just such a weird bubble. Yeah, it's terrible. But what do you got going on this weekend, Mike? For Father's Day?
What am I doing? Oh yeah, so it's Father. Let's see. Well, so tonight, my daughter's having like 13 girls sleeping over at the house. I'm not going to be there. I'm taking my son down to my parents' house, but they're doing like I don't know, it's for her birthday. They're doing like a spa thing, like pedicures and face masks and I don't know, girl things. I'm like, listen, I'll take Leo, my son. I'll take him. We'll go down and we'll check out. And then Father's Day's on Sunday. I guess I'll see my dad. I don't know. Maybe barbecue some meats and buy him some beer. I don't really know, dude. What do you have planned? Yeah. What do you have planned?
Not sure yet. Originally I was going to go down to San Diego today, but I'm going to cancel that due to the small injury I got sitting in my chair. No, it's going to hang out with the family. Going to barbecue on Sunday. Probably continue to work on that Roblox game for my oldest daughter. That we've been building for her called Kira's Funhouse, which is what you wanted to call it. So outside of that, should be a pretty laid back weekend overall.
Good. Who do we have next week? Ryan Sullivan. That's going to be
Ryan
fun.
Sullivan. Yeah. We've known Ryan Sullivan for a while now. It should,
since the Tive days.
Yeah. Since Tive days. That's right. Should be fun to have him on the show. See, like we've been watching him, grow in his career and whatnot, and it'll be great to unpack it on here.
Yeah.
So
no, Ryan's a good dude.
He is.
He speaks my language as a sales guy, right?
Sales.
So it's always easy for me to have those conversations. So I'm excited to have him on. But other than that, man, you got anything else, or should we let people go for the weekend?
No, we should let them go. Everyone else have a wonderful weekend and enjoy the rest of your Friday.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.